So hello, my name is James and I'm the technical architect for American Girl, a division of Mattel, the world's largest toy company. I'm here to tell you a story about how RightScale helped us to launch our newest product, our virtual world, which is our online gaming system. But first, a little background about American Girl. American Girl is one of the country's leading direct marketers, children's publishers, and experiential retailers. We'll be celebrating our 25th birthday next year. And from the very beginning, American Girl was launched to educate young girls about what it meant to be an American girl from different parts of our country's history. Each historical character has a series of books that educate girls on what being an American girl was like from different periods of time. Every doll is always sold with a book. Now in the middle, what you'll see is My AG is our more contemporary line of dolls. This series of dolls includes different multi-ethnicity and shows what being an American girl is like today. This is the line that was extended to include the ability to customize an online avatar, as you can see, based on the doll that was purchased. And finally, our Bitty Baby line is meant for the young girls who has not yet learned how to read. But even these dolls are always come with a book that can be read by the parent or sibling as the girl plays. Some fun facts about American Girl. Note that we had 56 million visits last year to our American Girl website, americangirl.com, which is our portal to all of our sites. We currently have 9 retail stores across the country and have had 33 million visits since the beginning. And of course, since we launched, we've sold 18 million American Girl dolls to date. Now, let's dive a little deeper into our online virtual world, Innerstar University. It was launched on July 13th, 2010 of this year, and the girls can enter the world through 2 different ways. With a purchase of a My American Girl doll, an activation code allows full access into the world. We also have a guest entry point, which does not require an activation code. But certain parts of the world then are not accessible. The online avatar, as you can see, is supposed to resemble the doll, and the idea is that the girl can be playing with her doll at the same time as she is online. Innerstar University is based on the idea of a campus with different regions. For example, there's a library where she can check out AG books that we publish. She can play different online games. One example is a game called Body Balance, a game she can play and perhaps be exposed to yoga through this virtual medium. By playing these games, she can earn currency, which can then be used to go shopping for different outfits and accessories to personalize her avatars. Girls love that. She can definitely do different activities as well and quests and gather collectible content. The plan really is to periodically refresh this world to keep the content fresh and relevant for the girls. So let's dive into the story of how RightScale actually helped us with the launch of this world this year. American Girl had a plan, like we all do, right? Like our previous projects, we planned to go initially live with internal infrastructure. We're part of Mattel, so we have a pretty big data center all across the country. We tried to do due diligence in figuring out what sort of hardware was needed, typical. At the same time, though, we recognized that the volume would pick up as Christmas got closer. So at that time, we were working with SOSTA to run load tests for us for a different web application. And we asked them who we could partner with to help us exploring scaling in a public cloud. They came back and said, definitely RightScale. So we engaged with RightScale services to plan the process out. AG ran load tests to estimate hardware needs. We made plans to be trained by RightScale so we can lead the transition ourselves, with RightScale being our advisors. As go live got closer, we began to focus on that date, of course, and the interaction with RightScale began to be tabled for that point in time. So go live happened in July. What we quickly discovered was that the internal hardware could not handle the load that were coming for guests. This sort of realization in the past would have meant either of 2 different things. We would have either had to severely limit the number of users on the system, which we didn't want to do, or take frequent outages to make adjustments, which again is not preferable at all. So instead, we called RightScale services for help, a big help. And let me make something really clear here. This was not a situation where we had planned to use them in case something went wrong. This was more of a desperate call in the middle of the day, after go live, asking them for whatever help they can provide. And I can tell you very definitely they delivered in a big way. They quickly assembled a team, and since many of them had already been working with us to understand the application, they were quickly able to get up to speed. And within one day, one long day, we were able to deploy the guest-only application into the public cloud on Amazon EC2. Note that Mattel has never done this before, so this was a great accomplishment for us, for RightScale. Since we were able to scale on demand, we were actually able to increase capacity by 2,500% just by pure volume of servers. This would have been impossible in our current data centers. Now, of course, because the guest-only problem was alleviated, the registered user problem became the next nut to crack. And this was a lot harder to do. It required additional development from the different teams and changing of business rules, which always takes a little bit of time. And this took a little under a month to convert into a public cloud. But I can report back to you that the result is, once we were able to go live with this, we increased the capacity of this part of the application by 1,000%. And the application right now is stable. So this is the current configuration of Innerstar University in production. It is a typical LAMP stack using Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. On top of that, we use Jetty as an application server and use a proprietary game engine to be a core of the world itself. RightScale has pre-built templates that we use that make building the underlying servers very fast. We run both the image and web servers that can scale horizontally. And these are put under RightScale arrays that will automatically scale up to meet demand, but also automatically scale down to save on costs. The guest-only servers can also be scaled up, and this is being worked on right now. Also note in the diagram that we have internal infrastructure that hosts applications that Innerstar University needs to access. And we also have internal users in our call centers that need access to certain admin apps that are hosted in the cloud. All this is possible and is happening right now. These applications that are internal are not accessible from the public. U is a very heavy client application, so we use Akamai CDN to cache as much as we can. And in fact, we actually are getting about 95% hit ratios on the set of content, thus making the ability to scale down the web and image servers very cost effective for us. So in conclusion, I'm showing a part of a very famous quote, right? Everybody should know this. Give a man a fish, ... teach a man to fish. And the reason why I bring it up is because the idea from the very beginning was RightScale was to teach us about how to do this. The situation, though, caused us to actually lead the effort for RightScale when they had to quickly move from the internal to the public cloud. And they gave us that, no doubt about that. But we always understood that we wanted American growth so that we could fish for ourselves long term. And in this case, using RightScale to both administer the current deployment, but also implement future initiatives. And I can tell you right now that it's worked. RightScale Services continues to be a very great partner for us, but at the same time, they're teaching us to be self-sufficient. So that's my talk. Thanks to Michael Crandall and Lisa Arthurs and the rest of the RightScale team for a great presentation, and thank you much for your time.